If you or someone you know has diabetes, you may have built up an extra supply of test strips and lancets. That's where we come in. We'll buy the supplies that you don't need and resell them to those in need to prevent waste. Help us make diabetes management more affordable. Visit us at teststripswithaz.com.
We have Alex Perez back on the show. He is coming off quite possibly the best performance of the weekend in mixed martial arts. He submitted Jordan Espinosa in the first round, put him to sleep via a triangle choke or arm triangle choke. Alex, congratulations. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. Happy to get the win and happy to be back on the show.
It's great to have you here. The last time you were on, we talked about the time off, and you said that, just because you weren't competing, you weren't sitting on the couch. You were still working in the gym. You were improving, and you went out there on Saturday night and had an incredible performance. The win was obviously the goal, but to do it the way that you did after the time off, that's got to feel pretty amazing, right?
Yeah, I feel like anytime you get a finish in the UFC, it's and against a ranked opponent, it's always going to be great. It doesn't matter if you just fought a week ago or 10 months ago. I think no matter what, when you can stop a ranked opponent, someone that's ranked above you, someone that's been active, man, it's probably one of the greatest feelings in the world.
From the interviews I've done in the past, I always ask fighters how they thought they performed, and as humble as you guys and gals are, it's always, yeah, it was good to get the win, but it was okay. Still have a lot to fix, but I was fine with it. And of course, there's always tweaks and improvements to be made after every fight. But how would you grade that performance overall?
That was good, obviously. Just to work on timing, guys that are quicker, coming in and out. Setting up like my kicks a little bit better. I missed a few shots. Not punching a little wide. Sometimes I got a little carried away towards the cage. I seen him running, and I kind of knew he was going there. Instead of throwing straight, kind of throwing wide. Just things like that, head movement on the outside. Even when like punches are coming at me, I should be moving my head constantly. So there's always room to improve.
What do you think you need to? I mean, obviously, there's always things to work on, but watching the tape and watching the fight back, what stuck out to you that you need to fix and improve?
Just to work on timing, guys that are quicker, coming in and out. Setting up like my kicks a little bit better. I missed a few shots. Not punching a little wide. Sometimes I got a little carried away towards the cage. I seen him running, and I kind of knew he was going there. Instead of throwing straight, kind of throwing wide. Just things like that, head movement on the outside. Even when like punches are coming at me, I should be moving my head constantly. So there's always room to improve.
You're a guy that, even when we spoke, and I know you said to the media after, that you sort of envision a million ways that a fight can play out. But, with the way it all went down, was there something in the preparation, something you and your team saw in Jordan's game that, led you to having the strategy that you had, getting the fight to the mat, and then ultimately finishing it the way that you did?
No, honestly, it just kind of just happened. I just remember going after him, and then he kind of just like ran into me. And I was like, oh, there's a bear hug. I'm going to take him down. And then just kind of went from there. A lot of time, like a game plan, everybody has a game plan. It's your job to follow it. But a lot of times you're planning on what the guy's doing, which you've seen for, on his previous fights. But guys do make adjustments to you. Guys do certain things. So sometimes you got to just go with the flow.
You go out there, you get a quick submission. Like you said, you didn't take a lot of damage in the fight. You get a performance bonus on top of that. You did it on a main card. With all those things in play, this couldn't have gone any better, right?
Nah, man. I mean, unless the fight would have finished, with the first punch I threw. Other than that, I mean, I think it was a great performance. Jordan's tough. He's probably one of the harder guys to get ready for in the division. Like I say, he has a very quick style, karate style, in and out. He changes stance. He's a good wrestler, pretty good grappler. So, I mean, like I said, like it couldn't have gone better for me.
So I just want to clarify something, because the narrative, at least from a lot of the sites that I saw heading into the fight, was that, and I know you said this with me as well, was that, you go out there, you beat Jordan, and then you want the rematch with Benavidez. And it seemed like a lot of people thought you were, going to get on the mic and call Benavidez out. But to me, when I talked to you, it seemed like, that's a down the road goal. Like you weren't necessarily looking for that right after this fight. You want to work your way back to that fight. Is that accurate?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like people like guys and girls that fight, right? Everybody wants to get their rematch with whoever they lost. There's nothing wrong with that. You compete for a living, man. Like that's the thing you do. Everybody takes a loss. Everybody wants that rematch back. But it's silly to me when I see people calling out like, if I was to call out Benavidez after every fight, makes no sense. Why would he take the fight? He technically, he finished me. Why would he take the fight rematch after we won fight? I'm not gonna waste my energy and time and campaign for a fight I know I'm not gonna get. I just gotta do my job, keep winning fights, and then eventually I get that rematch. Either he has a title or he doesn't, but I'm gonna get the rematch sooner or later. But I gotta do my job. I gotta focus on myself. I just gotta keep winning, and then I'll get the fight.
Ultimately, I don't think it really matters who you fight next, but one of the guys you did happen to mention, even though the name kind of slipped you during the post-fight stuff, was Askarov. And a lot of people look at him like he's the future of the division. He had a nice win over Tim Elliott at UFC 246. What did you think of Askarov's performance a couple of weeks back, and what about that fight excites you?
Oh man, he's tough. He's good. He's a good wrestler, a good boxer. It excites me because we're both wrestlers and we both like to box, like to stand on our feet. I mean, he really didn't go for too many takedowns. You know what I mean? And like, no disrespect to Tim, but his credentials are better than Tim's in the wrestling department. You know, um, but he doesn't like to take people down. I mean, I just go wherever the fight goes. If it goes down, it goes down. It goes stays on our feet, stays on our feet. But I think it's a great fight for the fans. And another guy I would like to fight is Kai. He's fighting my buddy Tyson. If Tyson beats him, I still want to fight him. He's ranked above me. You know, Matt Schnell too. He's ranked above me. I just want to fight guys that are ranked above me. I don't care if I have to go up the list one by one. Fine, give me Matt Schnell, then give me Kai, and give me all those guys one by one. I work my way up. So at the end of the day, there's no argument that I'm the number one contender. That should be my title.
When would you like to return in a perfect world? Do you have a time frame in mind?
I'm gonna stay ready because there's a couple flyweight bouts up. You know, like I said, I do this for a living. I fight, so if someone gets hurt, I'm always gonna be ready and shape to jump in if I can. But if nothing falls through, I would say I would like to be on that April 18th card. That Tony Ferguson Khabib card, man. One, I've never been to New York, and I'm a pizza guy. Got to go there, and then just to be there on that card is be an amazing thing.
I'm not an X's and O's guy. I'm not a guy that you go to for fight breakdowns and things like that, but I do listen to others that do that and do it well, and I gain knowledge in that way. But it was interesting because in almost every breakdown of the fight between you and Jordan, there was one adjective that described you and your fighting style that was pretty consistent, and that's that you're a bully in there. People use that term all the time when describing you. Do you like that? Do you like being known as the bully? Is that a term of endearment in your mind as a fighter?
Yeah, no, I mean, I can care less. I just go out there and fight, man. Like a big key for this fight was for me not to like, it's gonna sound funny, is not to let my inner Mexican out. You know what I mean? Not to go out there and go crazy. Like, I gotta stay calm and relax, dude. I'm Mexican, man. You hit me once, it could be with a jab, or you can touch me with a finger, man. I'm gonna want to come back and throw 600 punches and try to kill you. So my biggest goal for this fight was actually kind of keep the Mexican inside for a little bit. Try to stay calm and relax. But I think just the Mexican style, man. Go in there and go out there and throw blows.
When did you sort of realize in your career that you needed to tone that down a little bit?
Oh man, all the time. It kind of happens in sparring when you're younger. You kind of get hit and you're like, man, I want to kill this guy. I used to train with Ian McCall, and that guy used to throw 600 punches. By the time I landed one, and I'm like, oh shit, and I would just get mad. I'd just be going crazy, and then my coach Colin was like, hey man, just relax, like take a deep breath, relax, breathe, and yeah, and I just started doing that kind of. I don't know if you've seen Bad Boys, but I started doing the USA thing, breathe, USA, kind of thing, and it's worked for me ever since.
So what are we drinking here?
This is one of my main recovery sponsors is Drink HRW, that helps me recover. These guys are a big help. Also with Miss Mary Jane CBD, but these guys, I take it every morning. I just put it in the water, take it every morning. Usually around this time, this is like kind of my routine. I wake up early, drink my coffee, do my things, and then kind of around this time, because we practice at 11. So I usually eat like around this time because I don't like to eat on a full stomach. So I'm like, So my routine, like I'm very like strict on my routine. Like I do this every morning. Like you call me around the same time, I'm gonna be doing the same exact thing every morning. People laugh, but I'm an old man. I gotta stay on the schedule. Or if not, I'll be all over the place.
What does it taste like?
This tastes like raspberry. It's actually pretty good. Um, I've been using it for this camp, and it helps me with energy and stuff. It also helps recover. Like I feel 100 times better taking this, and like I said, I'm a big believer in CBD. Um, like I said, my goal for towards the end of last year, beginning of this year's recovery. I came back from an injury, and like these guys were like some of the things that helped me, one mentally get back in there. When I fought Benavidez, ended up having a concussion. I was out for a few months, so it took me a long time. So I was really on uh, CBD because it helped me with it. Didn't like it didn't like take away the concussion, but it helped with the symptoms. It helped me like kind of with my headaches. It kind of helped me relax. Kind of helped me with the light and stuff. And then these guys have just been helping me for a few months now. Helped me with my energy when I'm in camp. Helping me recover. They have bath salts and stuff like that. Just doing all that stuff is big part for me. Like I without them, I probably would not made it to this fight. That's for sure.
So I assume with everything I'm hearing now, there'll be sort of no rest for the wicked here. No smelling of the roses right back after. Is that true?
Yeah, man. I'm a team player kind of guy. I got my main training partner for this camp is Yuma Haraguchi, and he's fighting at LFA this Friday. Big opportunity for him. He's the first Japanese guy to get signed by LFA. Big opportunity for him to show the world, all the U.S. fans, what he's capable to do. So I got to help him out for this last week. I got other guys in the gym that have fights coming up. So I like to help out as much as possible because it's an individual sport, but without my teammates and without my coaches, without, my strength conditioning coaches, all my teammates, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. I can't go out there and spar by myself. I can't go out there and hit pads by myself. I need a group of people around me, and I want to help them as much as they help me.
It's great to hear. I've only talked to you a couple times, but you seem like a pretty responsible guy to me. So what are you going to do with the 50 G's?
Man, I'm paying everybody today. Everybody's already going to be paid and everything. Take care of all that, man. First and foremost, got to pay the coaches. Got to pay the coaches, my training partners, my nutritionist, my mindset coach. Pay everybody first, and then I'm looking to buy a house this year, man. I really want to buy a house. I'm the last one of the boys in my family not to have a house. My little brother got one. My older brother got one. So, man, that 50 G's actually came in handy because, I drive a 2004 Honda Elantra with like 200,000 miles on there. But is he gonna get a new car? I was like, nope. I'm waiting to buy this house, man. I really want to buy a house. I'm not gonna be a millionaire fighting, but as long as I get my house, man, that's probably the biggest thing I need, a house. Once I got my house, everything else is fine.
It's great to hear, and hope that all goes down for you, find the right place. But you said something that kind of struck with me because I don't know if you saw the interview or heard about it, but Tyron Woodley spoke to Ariel yesterday, and he said in essence that he blew through a lot of his money as the champion. He bought things that weren't really essential. And let me just say from my end, if I had earned the type of money that he had earned, those thoughts would absolutely cross my mind. Like the first thought would be, let's invest and let's do this. But, then you see the cars and the houses and these things that you could just buy right now. Like, how can you not think about that? But like you said, MMA, it's a tough sport. You sort of felt the effects of not fighting, as you alluded to in our last conversation. It's a short window to get in there and compete and do your thing. It's not like being a doctor or a lawyer where you can get in a cage and fight people when you're 75 years old. But how do you handle the economics of the sport? And I guess if and when that opportunity comes to become a champion, because that's the goal, how will you stay grounded in that way with all the splurging temptation within arm's reach?
Honestly, since I was younger, man, I I grew up I grew up in a time where like MMA was still somewhat new. I'm 26, 27 fights into my career. So man, I remember fighting for $300. Win or lose. Some of these guys are fighting for 1-1 and they're bitching about it. Or I don't know what sponsors were back then. Sponsors were like, "Oh, you want me to sponsor you a pair of shorts and a shirt?" People were like, "Oh, you want me to sponsor you $50?" So like the people were complaining about getting products and getting this. I'm like, dude, I take product, I take whatever, like it doesn't bother me at all. Um, and I always, the thing that comes to mind, I remember being there one time and I just won the Hitachi title. And I've always wanted a PS4. Like, it's funny, like, man, I want a PS4. I remember having it in the cart and then, like, going up to, like, the register, waiting in line. I'm thinking, like, man, like, do I really need this right now? Like, do I need this or do I want this? And I kind of thinking, like, man, I want this. I don't need it. So I remember just going back, putting it back. And that's the mindset I've ever had ever since. Like, now when I look at things to buy things, it's like, man, do I want it or do I need it? Like, I need is like, okay, I need to get to practice. I need to put gas in my car. Like back then I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy a PlayStation for $400, but how am I gonna get to practice the next couple of months? Like I gotta think that far ahead at that time. How am I gonna do that? Like, like practice or PS4? Practice or PS4? PS4 is gonna die out. If I want to make a living doing this, I gotta pick. So like that's the thing in my head. And then my friends keep me humble, man. I got a good group of friends. Win or lose, man, the first thing they do is start talking shit to me. I get text messages, win or lose. Like, it doesn't matter. They don't hold nothing back, and that's the way I like it. Like, I win, they're like, oh, calm down now, big shot, blah, blah, blah. They can congratulate me, but they, kind of keep me humble, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
That is hilarious. Let's just say like a real estate agent's watching this right now. What's the kind of house you're looking for? What needs to be in this new house of yours?
Man, honestly, because I'm looking for a house in Orange County. Around the Timoyama gym, and honestly, I just need one, two, like mostly here is like a lot of condos, so 2-bedroom condo, 3-bedroom condo, nothing crazy, nothing fancy. I'm not a materialistic person, man. I rather spend money and hang out with my friends and have a Bentley. I rather see my friends and family happy than me buying a car and be happy for 20 minutes and be like, oh, I'm an idiot. So I just need something small, somewhere I can live, somewhere as long as it has, a place where I can sleep, eat, do my laundry. I'm fine. I'm not a picky guy. Obviously I don't want to go to like a crap town house, but I mean I'm a pretty mellow guy. I'm like middle class, blue collar guy from a small town. I don't need anything big. I don't need a mansion. I don't need nothing like that. I need something just where I can sleep, eat, eventually have my family.
And something that's yours, that you own.
Yeah, something that's mine that I own. I don't want, later on like, oh, well, you have to do it. Like, nah, I want something I can do whatever I want in there.
Well, great win, Alex. You're obviously one step closer to accomplishing that goal. Very impressive stuff on Saturday. I appreciate the time as always. Before we let you go, let the folks know where they can find and follow you on the web, social media, any other shout outs, anything else you want to get off your chest. The floor is yours.
Hey, first and foremost, thank you for having me, man. I really appreciate it. And you guys can find me on Alex Perez MMA on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just thank you to all my friends, family, my nutritionists, my strength conditioning coaches, everybody at Team Oyama. My coach back home, Mino Morales, Coach Colin Oyama, Romeo Danza, Jeremiah Van, Jivo Santana, all you guys. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here. Like, it's, I wouldn't be living my dream. And all my sponsors, I want to thank Miss Mary Jane CBD, Drink HRW. I want to thank Lace and Loop and High Desert Pythons, and also ATTC. And yeah, man, thank you guys for everything. Without you guys, like I said, I wouldn't be here. Thank you to the UFC and my management team. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
And thank you, Alex. Congratulations on the win. Look forward to seeing what's next for you. Hopefully on that Brooklyn card so you can fight and then eat some pizza on Sunday.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me, man.